There's been some drama in the pet psychic community. Apparently the animal whisperer got it wrong. And I'm about to get into it.
For anybody else who has been swindled by the pet psychic propaganda on this app, learn from my mistake and do not do it, okay? It is a scam. It is 100% fake news. It's a scam. From the top, it was just absolute bullcrap, okay? The reason I bought it is because I had seen a couple of viral videos, the pet psychic side of TikTok. I was like, oh, that would be like a sweet little gift for my husband. And I was also thinking like, I'm really curious what goes through Georgie and Minnie's little pea-sized brains. Why not? $200 and 8 weeks later, I get our pet reading from this pet psychic. It's a 20-minute audio about both dogs. And let me just say from the top, not legitimate at all, okay? She asked Georgie about her food, if she likes her food. And Georgie said, yes, of course I love my food. It's the farmer's dog. None of that kibble crap that other owners give to their dogs. You guys, we don't feed Georgie and Minnie the farmer's dog, okay? So immediately I was just like, this is fake. She asks the dogs about how they feel about their mom and their dad. And she got energy that I was in a career of helping people, that I was a doctor who loves Disney. Okay, those two things could not be further from the truth. When asked about their home and their home environment, if they like it, they said that Georgie does love laying on the balcony in the sun, which is true. She also loves the pool and the sauna. Two things we do not have.
Bro, you could have came to me. I'm not the cheap type of pet psych. She charged you $200. No, since you got money to waste, I charge $4K per reading. Because why go to a fraud when you could come get the real thing? I'm picking up the energy that Georgie likes to scrubs the ground with her behind when there's some little droplets left because you haven't been properly wiping her behind. And she says it's uncomfortable. And as far as which parent she likes, well, both of you all get on her nerves, but she favors the mother. In fact, I can see the dog's face right now. Y'all look like y'all could be twinning. Yes, she has your eyes. Boom, right there. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Send that to you. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is what you're thinking about me.
Here's where it gets really, really good. We move on to Minnie, okay? And she starts off by saying that Minnie, has some really bad physical ailments, which is, somewhat true. She could probably tell from her photo, her eyes a little messed up. But Minnie was telling the pet psychic that she uses a cane to walk. She can't walk on her own and she uses a cane. Minnie does not have a cane. She then asked Minnie about her relationship with her dad and, how her dad is in the home. She told the psychic that there is anarchy in the home and her dad owns too many pew-pews and there's themes of war in the home. Like Minnie's dad is a soldier, and was going on and on about how, Minnie's dad, my husband, has PTSD from the war and is very depressed. And could also possibly be... What? I'm sorry, what? That's an absolutely crazy thing to do in a pet reading, okay? This pet psychic could totally continue just making her bag by saying generic statements about dogs like, your dog Georgie is playful and loving and cute. Or something like, I'm sensing that Minnie loves to be around people. Instead, she's telling me that my husband is deeply, deeply depressed and owns too many... For the record, we don't own a pew-pew and we never will. I don't know where that came from. And to be completely honest, I don't know what kind of drug she's on to come up with all of these statements. Like, she could have done her research and she could have looked up my name and could have sold me a really good, somewhat accurate story based off of my social media. I don't know, either she channeled the wrong Georgie and Minnie. I'm sure there are two Frenchies out there who are sisters whose names are also Georgie and Minnie. Maybe she channeled them instead of my Georgie and Minnie. I have a feeling she's probably just making all this crap up. And she's getting her bag for it. So lesson learned, don't hire a pet psychic. Just don't. It's fake news.
And it took you $200 to figure that out. You just as touched as a psychic because you got money to blow. Send it my way. This pet psychic did it wrong because I just would have looked at your page, seen that you had some Frenchies and be like, Georgie and Minnie are really upset that their snout is too small and they wish that they could get a rhinoplasty for dogs because they want to open up their airways. Girl, go ahead and send me that money. Wasting your money talking about some pet psych. But why do y'all come up with this type of stuff? It's always a certain community. And I know know that it's a token in there that want to be with the in crowd. Just send me your money. I'll write your story. Can you please post the 20-minute audio? The absolute insane per psychic reading we got. It gets crazy.
Spent $200 on a pet psychic so that you don't have to. So here are some actual audio bits from the pet psychic reading that I got for my 2 dogs, Georgie and Minnie. Okay, so she asks Georgie if she likes her food.
She said, what's not to like? It's farmer's dog, the good stuff. Only the good stuff for me. Top quality, 5-star stuff.
What?
None of that boring kibble.
We don't give her farmer's dog. We never have.
I like to lay out there some
I would
days,
say
unless
kibbles
it gets
and
too
beets.
hot. Then I want to come in and relax, cool off by the pool. There's a sauna. I said, do you use it? She said, of course not. I'm just telling you there is one. Dad likes it, Mom not so much. She likes other things like dancing and Disney and music and sunshine and flowers and daffodils. No. I said, what does Dad like? No. She said, shooting guns. He was in the army, the armed forces, protecting the country. Their son was too. He doesn't live here.
Their son was too?
Issues. I said,
we don't have a child. Hank has never been in the army. Sorry, this is only 6 minutes in and it's a 20-minute audio. Okay, so buckle up.
I said,
ma'am, you gotta do better than this. If you gonna scam right. The biggest question is that you say you have to fill out this questionnaire, and we're gonna ask you a few simple questions. What breed of dog do you have? What gender? And please provide us with your social media, because we like to tag our clients in our accurate posts. Soon as you find out the breed of dog, only thing you gotta do is Google it and find out what is the traits of these dogs.
I said, do you have any advice for your dad? She said, no, he struggles with things a lot, thinks he can't do certain things. There's trauma there, possibly depression. He needs to work through it. It can't hold him back. It can't become stronger than he is. He should meditate too. They should meditate together.
Okay, let's move on to Minnie, because this isn't even like the craziest part.
I said, can you tell me more about this? She said, diseased. I said, I don't understand. She said, I've been sick before, very sick, but I am better now, healed, heart and lungs, tummy doing very well indeed. She said, handicapped. I use a cane to walk. She said, there's too much going on here physically and mentally. It's too much. I want a calm, peaceful home without guns and anarchy. Dad shoots guns, yes. It's loud, I don't like it. It needs to go away. Him and his hunting buddies. He shoots deer, I don't like it. He shouldn't have a gun. They don't belong here. Not safe. I do not feel unloved. I am very happy. We needed to change the subject. I said, can you tell me what you like about your home? She said, the stairs. I like running up and sliding down. Plop, plop, plop. I don't like the guns. I don't like the guns at all. But I like the stairs and the slide and the grass and rolling in it.
We don't have grass.
I like being pocket-sized. It's nice. You can be pushed in a stroller. I have one. And I saw like a teal dog stroller.
We don't own one of those. We don't have one.
As for Dad, I don't like the guns.
I'm shocked.
Work on yourself. I said, what does this mean?
Because she looked like the type that had to put her dog in a stroller and take it on the walk. For y'all that do that, please explain that mentality to me in my comment section.
She said mental health struggles. I don't want him to kill himself. And I said, Minnie, and she said, what? And I said, this is big stuff. Lock the guns away, you don't need them. I said, are you legitimately worried, Minnie?
Sorry. You got the wrong Georgie and Minnie. That's for sure.
For the people that believe in stuff like that, that is very dangerous, because like you telling her older dog think this way and your husband got this, that, and the other, and he is dealing with like depression or something like that. You don't ever want to put that on somebody that's not actually going through that. And yes, it is fake, but some people believe in this type of stuff. And on top of that, ma'am, as to how you got clients, I do not know. You could have said, Minnie said, I recall the first time I got bit by a flea. It bit me. And she could have said for George, you know, Minnie and I got this beef with these people that keep delivering packages to our door. My mom be like, hey, that's the mailman. But he just don't know. He be thinking I'm coming up there to give him snuggles and want to be rubbed. But the reality is I'm thinking about snapping off his ankles. I waits for him. And I asked George, why do you hate the mailman so much? Because I was expecting a bone in the mail. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was December 25th. All through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. I had expedited my shipping. I could smell it in the air and I could almost taste it on my tongue. But December 25th came and my bones still ain't come. And it was in that moment that I knew me and the postal service was through. Nadia nice, Vida not. Santa came through and you chose to not. This is the animal communicator and she gets super honest.
I'm going to be honest, and this is a hard video to make, and I've been sitting here just staring into my camera trying to figure out if I should even make this video and what to say. So, you know, I post stories about these like crazy, like funny sessions I've had with animals and just the accurate things that I've gotten in sessions that there's no way I would have known. But not every session is like that. I have done 180 sessions, and 2 of those sessions, the feedback I got was like, yeah, like none of this is right. And one of those sessions, well, I didn't do the session today, but I got the feedback today where like just all of this stuff was wrong. And, you know, I'm thinking, was I not connected to the right animal? Did wires get crossed? Did I just like really misinterpret the messages I got? And it really, when that happens, it's really hard for me. You know, I can go back and I can ask the animal like, hey, you know, your mom said that like all of this is wrong. Like, why did you tell me this?
He ain't tell you that because he speak dog. Like I speak English, you might speak Spanish. And dog is the same thing. Husky speak husky. Bulldog speak bulldogs. And I don't think that you have familiarized yourself with the different type of languages amongst the animals. You was up in there trying to be a species thinking speak dog all on one accord, and that's not the case. And that's why your wires got crossed, because you couldn't figure out which lie to tell. You got confused. Maybe you should just specialize on like certain dogs. Maybe German Shepherd, American Bully, English Bulldog. You was trying to go to the French Bulldogs. You probably need to stick to the English Bulldog because they speak English. That's the problem. You was like, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oh. Did you just ask to sleep with me? I am a Christian dog. No man but loose here.
The hard part of that though is when I go back to an animal, when the animal says, you know, when I find out the animal says something was not accurate, my brain wants to jump in and try to like problem solve and brainstorm and think, you know, what could it be? And so it's very hard for me to stay in like telepathy and not have my brain want to jump in and think of what it could be. You know, I don't know if I should even be, you know, posting about this, but I just want to be honest. Like, I just want to be really honest. Like, you know, I've mentioned that I am a huge skeptic when it comes to this, and I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't experiencing it. And at this point, I've done enough sessions where I just am like, yeah, there's like no way I would know this stuff. And
I know you feel that way, and I know you said you were a skeptic and you want to be really honest. You got some people that get extremely high and think that rock is talking to them, and they swear up and down the rock is really communicating with them. They get so high they feel like they flying and they sitting down, and they swear up and down that it's true, but it's not. It's a delusion, and you ain't talking to them dogs. You're a scammer, and so scammers need to stick towards a certain grip.
And it's really only been 2 sessions of the 180 where the feedback was just like, yeah, all of this was wrong. And I don't know why that is, and it really bothers me. I got that feedback today, and it kind of just
Hold the heck up. Now you charging $200 a pop. Time 200. You made $36,000 lying to people. I'm in the wrong. Well, I'm telling y'all, I'm in the wrong field.
I don't know. Like, I haven't done a session yet today. I have just felt sort of like, I don't know. Like, can I really do this? I know I can because of all the sessions I've done where people have been like, oh my God, that's spot on. You know, there's no way, you know, I could have known that. But when a session like this happens, you know, and it's all, you know, I mean, it's bound to happen, you know, doing so many sessions, like, this is bound to happen. I don't know why, and it really bothers me, and it's hard to just, you know, let it go and move on. So I'm trying to, like, get myself in a better mental place so that I can continue doing sessions. But I guess I just wanted to say, like, you know, because a lot of you guys, you've seen my videos about Loaf and Nandor the Relentless, and, you know, the dog that told me his mom is gay, and she is. You know, they're not all just, like, amazing sessions. They're just not. So yeah, all I know is, like, you know, I get what I get and I share it, and sometimes I don't know what happens.
Leave them dogs alone. Get them people they money back. Dr. Do scam. Ain't no freaking way. Dr. Doolittle would never. He talked a multitude of animals, and ain't none of them ever came back and said he was a liar.
Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video addressing that video that's going around. I'm sure you all saw it. I have not watched it. Like, I can't bring myself to watch it. But yeah, so I made a video yesterday, and it was before I knew that there was this video going around that she made. She made it a few days before she emailed me about the session, so I had no idea this was going on. And when I got the email, obviously I refunded her immediately, and I felt really bad, and I still do feel really bad. You know, like I said in my video yesterday, I've done a lot of sessions, and there have been 2 so far where the feedback came back, all of this was wrong. And I don't know why. You know, I didn't watch her video, but I read some of the comments until, like, I had to stop. And, you know, a lot of people were saying I Googled the wrong person, and I don't Google people before I do sessions for them. I wish that people only put the first initial of their last name for this exact reason.
Bro, you should have asked her what type of dog she got. That should be a requirement. And she say, oh, well, this is wrong. Didn't I ask you what type of dog you had? So you lied to me. That's why the reading was off. You got to have a little ounce in your scam. You can't just be going out there all willy-nilly. You got to protect yourself. I don't Google their page. Why not? And for y'all get up in this comment section talking about you calling her a liar. There was an animal that spoke in the Bible. Yeah, 2 animals. Because I know a donkey asked Balaam from why he kept hitting him. Well, Amanda, what's the difference? She claims to be channeling these dogs and speaking to them that way. Animals ain't got no soul, so ain't nothing to channel.
So when I started on TikTok, when those videos went viral, my biggest fear was doing a session that, you know, wasn't good. And then the person would make a video about it and, you know, post part of the session, the recording, in their video. What made this so much worse is that, you know, not only did this happen, but the person is like an influencer who has hundreds of thousands of followers. And so, yeah, so this is my worst nightmare. You know, it's, I don't know.
I think you should go to Fraud Anonymous or Scam Anonymous. And there are a lot of people that have gotten there that have been exposed for scammers and fraudsters. And they talk about how they got caught and how that made them feel being exposed as well. So, ma'am, that's all you feeling. You got caught in the lie. Now you being shamed in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And you don't know how to deal with it. And that's okay. Because now it's time to live in reality. What happens has happened. You can't go back and fix the lie that you created. Now you just need to move forward. You'll find a new dummy that's going to send you $200 to make up a lie about they dog. You said you had 2 out of 180. That is a very small percentage of your customers that wasn't happy with you. You refunded $200. So that means that you only have made $35,800. I say you're doing pretty good. You should up your prices if you that accurate.
You know, I feel really bad. And I feel honestly just like humiliated. Like I was so just afraid something like this would happen and someone would just post a video that just like ruined me in like more ways than one. So this has happened. My worst nightmare came true. You know, I know that the session, I know everything wasn't accurate. I don't know why.
Bro, 99% of what you told that woman was inaccurate. And you do know why. Because you channeled the wrong dogs. Tell her you only deal with pure bred and you don't do French bulldog. You only do English bulldogs. That's where the wire got crossed. I told you what to say. I'm up here offering game and you refuse to take it. You decided to get up here and make a 7-minute and 14-second video to explain how you got caught in the lie. I don't know. It's never happened like this before. My gosh, lady.
I've done enough sessions where there's been, you know, accurate things that I wouldn't have known. And I know I can do this, but sometimes this happens. You know, the first time I did a session where, like the first session I did where I got this feedback, I didn't do another session for 3 weeks. And I had been doing them every day. So,
maybe you was exhausted.
Yeah. It's hard for me to like jump back in. When I do sessions in general, sometimes really personal comes up. It just does. I've had animals bring up affairs. I've had animals bring up depression. I've had animals bring up infertility. And yeah, it's very uncomfortable for me when that happens. I wish it didn't, but sometimes it does. And I'm supposed to share everything I get no matter what. So I do. And maybe I should start.
Was dealing with depression and he wanted to take himself out. That was not true. And that's not something that you should play with. Period, point blank. Don't own guns. Don't shoot them. Didn't serve in the military. He didn't do any of the things that you came up with. I gave you an example of the lane that you should stay in. Keep it very simple. You don't have to get into detail. You don't have to talk about infertility. You don't have to talk about those topics because that is outside of your scope of things. If you're going to be on your Dr. Scam Little, you need to do it right. Go research the breeds. Go research what's common with the breeds. Go watch a YouTube video to educate yourself on them. So when you ask them, hey, what type of dog do you have? And they tell you such and such and such, and you say, give me their name. You could come up with all types of wild, crazy story with that fit within their traits and characteristics. That's all you got to do.
Asking people like, hey, do you want to know everything? You know?
No.
I don't know. So, yeah, personal comes up sometimes. You know, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea this video was made. You know, I refunded her, obviously. Like, I feel really bad. But now I'm sort of trying to walk through this. I am not someone who is well equipped to handle something like this. Like, My video yesterday, there were a lot of supportive comments that I really appreciated, but there were also, obviously negative ones.
We got to go to her comment section.
And, I could read 100 supportive comments, but the one negative one is what I'm focusing on. That's what takes me down. So I'm posting this video, but I'm not reading the comments. Like, I can't. Like, I don't have thick skin. And I know that's something you need to have when you post on social media and you do something like this. Like, you need to have thick skin. You need to let things roll off your back. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
Why you sound like another scammer that I just covered like a couple of days ago that was on here eating bell peppers and cream cheese? Guys, don't. If you have anything negative to say, please just don't. Just don't. I'm just not in a mental space.
Negative comments affect me tremendously.
I bet they do.
So I will not be reading the comments. No, I just, I wanted to post this video. Like, I don't know why this happened. I don't know if I was just on a completely different frequency. I mean, it's very, humiliating that,
not
that
too
this is going
humiliating.
around. And, what can I do?
Stop lying. That's what you could do.
So I've done tons of sessions where, they've been great. They've been accurate. There's no way, I would know these things.
I bet.
But they're not all amazing. And I would never tell you guys, oh my God, I am the best animal communicator ever.
Obviously, because you done had 2 bad reviews and you were way off on Georgie and Minnie.
Like, oh my God, every session is amazing. Always 100% accurate. Like, I am the best. I would never say that.
You never tell that lie.
Some sessions are amazing. Some I don't feel are good. And sometimes stuff like this happens. And I don't know why.
Yeah, you did.
So,
yeah, you did.
I am just trying to, walk through this. And, hopefully I will get through it.
I thought the funniest comment was someone asking if anyone has considered the possibility that that the dog was a compulsive liar. So the woman by the same name of Christine Haas on Facebook, who actually matched that supposed reading you gave, has nothing to do with your mess up. So she did use social media, but she looked up the wrong person. Oh my gosh. Girl, you was trying to say her man was going Full Metal Jacket. I honestly can't tell if you aware that you're scamming people or if you're so out of touch that you truly believe that what you're doing has any connections to reality. Either way, very sad. Ma'am, she know exactly what she doing. I don't understand why y'all get up here and believe these people and don't think they know they lying. We're not psychics, but it sounds like George and Minnie may want fresh food. I'm crying. The thought of a dog saying my dad was in the armed forces protecting our country actually has me circling orbits. It sounds like she was reading ChatGPT. Okay, there's a lady named Christine Haas whose husband Eric and son were both in the military. They live in a nice house in Cali that has a pool. It is Lori Crown. Sounds like her, and that's who I was about to put. Please advise if I should avoid her. Girl, don't waste your time. You got money that you want to get rid of? Come to me. Listen, stop wasting y'all money sending it to that lady. Y'all don't need that much of a close connection with your dog. You should be able to communicate with your dog just fine, and they know how to follow instructions. For instance, yesterday, my mother's dog was on the couch, and I told him, if you don't get your butt down off that couch, let's just say he jumped off promptly. And that's how I knew he understood. These dogs be having good sense. As always, remember that you were fearfully and wonderfully made, and stay blessed.